Here we go. Bam, go live. Oh god, this season, guys. This season, it is the greatest thing ever. Greatest season of all time. It is the season, guys. It is the season. So, I even got my wife with me, guys, because it's freaking the best season ever, man. We're finally back. We're finally back. Then we got the wife here, right? We're finally back. Wait, Konosuba Season 3 is finally coming. My wife, I got what Konosuba with me. It's gonna be amazing. But this is crazy, right? It's the best anime season there's ever been. And I genuinely mean that, because this season has my 4 or 5 my top 10 of all time animes on the same time, right? So it's Konosuba, of course. But we also got Mushoku Tenshin. Bam, let's get in the Roxy. You can get in the Roxy. Bam. We got freaking Demon Slayer, guys, right? We got freaking Demon Slayer. We got My Academia. We got, it's so much. Konosuba, Mushoku Tenshin, and of course also Slime, which is popular. So it's like everything. It's like the top 3. It's like all the best isekai. All my favorite isekai, except, I guess, L0, of course. The only thing I'm missing is L0. But otherwise, like my top 3 isekai, my favorite shonen, whatever Demon Slayer is, historical, fantasy, I don't know. But it's like, this season is so crazy good, right? Because, like, seriously, I don't even have to buy new figures, right? I got all the figures I need, the 18 plus all the, because I mean, yeah, it is, I should buy a Ghislaine figure if I make one though. But yeah, this is crazy, guys. I've never been so hype, I feel. I've been doing this a few years now, and I've never been so hype, right, for an anime season coming out, because this is just crazy. So I will really iterate on like this, how, you know, you watch animes, right? And you have your top 10 or your top 20, your top 1,000 or top 10,000 or whatever, right? But seriously, yeah, this season is like 4 or 5 of my top 10 of all time on the same time, right? It's crazy. So because it really has like all of my favorite isekais, except L0 then, yeah. If I would make a top 4 isekai, can she stay there? No, she can't. Can you keep her up? Okay, Aqua. Oh, get the wife up. Come on, do something useful once, Aqua. Oh, lift up, Roxy. Okay, so Aqua should be like there. She's quite big. Oh, oh yeah, let's turn around like that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Come on, Aqua. Get up there. Like that. So I have Aqua behind me, my wife next to me, and Roxy on top of Africa. There we go. Okay, good. Let's go over the season. Let's go over the season. But it really is amazing, right? This season is amazing. So what we're gonna do now, guys, always, we're gonna talk about the season, right? One anime at a time. We'll zoom in so much. Something like that, yeah. And we're gonna go over, you know, each anime, right? Or, you know, the anime we care about. This is black line, it knows me. Oh, so much better. Yeah, that is the best right there. So see the title there, yeah. Tenshura Slime. And talk about them, right? You know, I'm just like out of breath now, no? But I'm you know, genuinely just really excited for the season. So like I said, right? You know, like I said, this is like my top 3 isekai, you know, except L0. So if I made a top 4 isekai list, right? If I made a top 10 isekai, right? Obviously Konosuba, you know, I think the best comedy ever made. Mushoku Tenshin over Roxy, obviously, right? Then we have Slime, of course, Rimaru Sama, and then L0. So I'm a Ren figures over there, so she's not in this anime. Ren is coming later, right? And so having used all 3 of the isekais on the same season is really amazing. This is the isekai heaven, right? I mean, seriously, this is the isekai heaven. Like I never had so an exciting isekai season, you know, before in my life, right? And just think about it, because how often don't we have isekais per season? We have so many isekais every season, right? It's like 5, 10 isekais. It literally is like more than 10 isekais for many seasons, right? Not every season, but it's like 5 to 10 or something. I've seen one with like 14 isekais, right? So it's crazy. It is crazy amount of isekais, always. But this season, again, we have Slime coming back, Rimaru Sama coming back, right? But also freaking Konosuba, right? And also Roxy, freaking Ghislaine, Eren. It's like amazing. Like we have this is the problem as 10 isekais as well, because there's so many isekais, but we have literally the top 3 isekais, and then the series somewhere in the middle of the two. Yeah, so it's like, it's crazy. In my top 10 isekai list, right, and I've seen over 100 isekai easily, probably more than that. I've seen probably a few hundred isekais by now, and yeah, these are my, you know, in the top 3, yeah, like easily top 5, you know, whatever, for 4 then. In the whole. So, best isekai season of... This is literally, easily, the best isekai season of anime ever. Absolutely. And then, of course, come later, Demon Slayer season. But just from an isekai standpoint, there has never been a season that is so good for isekais. That's just straight up. 100%. Objectively, the best isekai season. So that's kind of my start here with Slime. Obviously, we're gonna watch Slime, we're gonna react to Slime, we're gonna do Slime. I've been doing it from the beginning, right? I love Slime, I love how Rimuru is a well-written character. I love it immediately. I've also been a big Slime fan. I mean, I like how Rimuru... One thing I was like with Rimuru is how he starts out as a good person immediately. He dies saving his friend's girlfriend and all that stuff. I always liked Rimuru. He's like, you know... and arguably, I still think that Slime to this day is arguably the best... of, you know, isekai power fantasy, right? I mean, obviously it's a power fantasy, no question asked there. I mean, of course it is, and there are many, of course, power fantasies, especially isekai. So they have to be isekai power fantasy, but most of them are these days. But I still think that, like, genuinely, Slime is still probably the best one, right? We have other ones similar, like, for example, I'm a Spider, so what? You know, Kumiko-san and so on. It's a pretty good anime. I like it too. You know, I like it too. I mean, I like Kumiko-san. And I'm a Sword and so on. There are many other animes have a similar pretext and so on. And of course, other animes we also build stuff, you know. But it feels like there's a reason why Slime's so popular, because it really feels like it just nailed everything, you know. It just feels like it's like the perfect. I still think yeah. I think that Slime is still to this day the best power fantasy anime. Now, that being said, you know I love One Punch Man, Saitama. It's also one of my top 10 and all time. You know, I'm a huge fan of One Punch Man. This is greatness, GOAT anime. But I don't think that Saitama is actually a power fantasy. That's why actually I like it for that standpoint. One reason I love One Punch Man is because it's not a power fantasy. It's more like the... I say it. It's a parody, of course, but it's more like One Punch Man's, I think, message is that becoming the best is terrible. You know what I mean? And that's why I like it, because it's relatable to me. I'm the best. But seriously, I like it because it's like, no, it's actually pretty shit being the best, you know? It is not that fun being the best. When you get so high up in your, whatever, you know, I'm so strong and I'm so great, eventually life just becomes terrible, right? I'm just gonna move the text up there. It's like 300 maybe? Yeah, maybe look better. How about that? That's better, right? Yeah, like that. That is better. So you get a better image here. Oh yeah, that looks way better. Sorry about this. I was just so excited to start the stream. Yeah, there we go. Oh, it's so much better. Yeah, oof, Slime. But as a side note, yeah, I really think that Saitama is like... It's not a power fantasy. It's a message about becoming the best is terrible, because you get bored, it is tedious, and so on. For example, yesterday I was playing Unicorn Overlord. I had the game... oh, that's my Dragon Ball. I have it under my Dragon Ball. I will get a Dragon Ball. Whatever, yeah. So you meet this woman in that game yesterday in the stage, and she joins your army, right? She's a bad girl. She's an antagonist, but she joins you eventually after you defeat her, because her storyline is that she's really bored, right? Like, straight up. I like it, yeah. Unicorn is a great game, seriously. Very good game. But that's a good storyline. Basically, you come to this stage, and it's a female, like, sword fighter warrior lady, right? She's like a badass lady that's controlling this stage. And she's like, oh, I'm so bored, you know. I'm sitting up here in, like, the northern edge of the country, and no one fights us, and I'm just too good. All these bandits are nothing to me, right? And then the main character appears, and she's like, oh, he looks pretty good. And then she do with the main character and so on, right? And then, of course, she's like, she falls in love, basically, with you, the player, because she's like, finally a man that can defeat me. and then you can ask her out, basically, like, oh, you want to join me? And she's like, oh, a date? Like, no, I mean, like, oh, the party was awesome, because she's like, I'm bored, I wanna leave this place, yeah. It's so easy being up here in the far north, where I'm the strongest person, basically, in, like, Sweden. I need to go somewhere else, a big country, right? So... only one, you know, stage fight, but she was kind of like a Saitama living up in a small country up north, being like, "Oh, I'm the strongest woman here. It's super boring." Like, you know, someone please take me away for more martial art fights, right? But anyway, there reminds me of the One Punch Man there. She basically was she was honestly to some extent. There we go. She was to some extent. She was to some extent, you know, like how say it, a female Saitama. You can look at my Sandman, bro. I did a Sandland video this morning. Go and look at the Sand. If you wanna see my Sandland, we come to Sandland later in this video. But if you wanna see my Sandland take, go and look at the video, guys. I did a video about Sandland this morning, like 8 hours ago, when I reviewed episode 1 and also the opening. So we have 2 videos about Sandland, man. So go and look at that instead. Of course, we're watching this anime, you know, also Isekai. So yeah, it's gonna be on Isekai side. But anyway, the anime is going. Mushoku Tensei! Have I told you how Roxy is not the best consistently? But yeah, Mushoku Tensei, of course, like the best written anime of all time. You know, it's like the greatest Isekai anime. I don't feel like the motivate is too much, right? I mean, the intro already said that, yeah, this is like the top 3 Isekai of all time, you know. Mushoku Tensei, Slime, and of course Konosuba. So I don't feel that I need to motivate this as much here in the stream, right? Because I kind of all glaze them over. But I guess if it never seen Tensei, it's just like this amazing writing. I think it literally has like the best main character ever written. And I know people hate Rudy, and that's why it's so bad written. But seriously, the people hate Rudy so much just tells you it's a good written character because he's just a realistic character. His issues, his phobias, he's like the most realistic Isekai character probably ever. Because I'm not a big fan of, you know, Isekai characters that you kind of get revived and they don't care at all about their past, you know. Like there's some Isekai, something that's a Paladin Isekai, Faraway Paladin, where he's an Isekai main character and he completely like ignores everything he knew on Earth immediately. So why is he even Isekai? He could just been like a normal person, like he's born in this world, right? I hate how half of the Isekais are basically like completely pointless, even being Isekais. However, in this anime, it's opposite, right? Rudy's issues come from his previous life and so on. So I love that, the characters, the character development, right? It's like the greatest. You know, you could definitely argue that Rudy probably has the best character development in history. I think that's fair to say. I said it before, I said it again, right? So Mushoku Tensei, freaking masterpiece, right? Hope Roxy gets in there, though. Yeah, hope Roxy gets in there. We can see that all the ladies are stealing her Rudy, right? So. Yeah, it's a little bit like she's losing out to that elf boy. Yeah, Roxy Master, you gotta cover over this elf boy. Yeah, there's no yaoi elf anymore. That's good, Roxy. And then I guess Ares will eventually appear as well. But yeah, still though, you know, essentially like the best written main character probably ever in anime. So that's kind of the summary. I say for that I spoiled too much, right? Then of course Demon Slayer, and we have of course a Nesco somewhere. Obviously, I already see the first episode 1, right? No, Demon Slayer is. I really feel that this is like I love doing these streams, having went over all the new animes and so on. But here I really feel this is the most laziest stream ever so far because I don't think this is like just the best animes, right? It's just the top animes. I don't feel I have to motivate anything. Normally I have to sit there and be like, trust me guys, this is a pretty good anime. Remember when Marin appeared? Okay, so I'm a big fan of Marin-chan, or Blurp. But before the anime aired, like no one read the manga, right? So I was sitting here on my stream talking about Marin-chan, being like, you know, Marin-chan's pretty hot. You're gonna love this anime. It's gonna be a top 10 anime next year. People were like, oh, you guys are free, you know, so on, right? And then the anime drops, and it was an incredible big hit. And I told people that, yeah. So usually when I make these streams, I have to sit there and really motivate, you know, buy this figure basically, right? But in this stream, I feel like we have Demon Slayer, Konosuba. Yeah, like, we have Demon Slayer, Macadamia. This is the easiest selling stream ever. We have Demon Slayer, so we got Nesco. She's a cool little sister character, okay? Like this stream, I feel like I can sit there and be like, yeah, it's pretty good, okay? We got Nesco, we got Macadamia coming at here. So yeah, this is amazing. Top 3 best Isekai, and also arguably the best shonen anime at the same time as well. It's amazing. I've seen the first episode. It aired a few weeks ago. We're in theater and so on, so right. And it's a pretty good episode. I was sitting here immediately, guys. Like I have seen it. Links below for it. It's unfortunately one issue is it's half filler, right? You know, it's very much the similar thing they usually do. So it's like a 44-minute episode, but roughly 22, so half of the 20 so. It's just filler. And I don't mean filler in a good way, you know, like good joke filler. I mean filler as the pure filler padding where it's like the Hashirams are training, and then the Hashirams are like recalling previous seasons. So it is like a complete like padding filler. So unfortunately, yeah, episode 1, it's a good episode. Get me wrong. I think it's a good episode if you ignore half of it. Half of it is pure padding filler, yeah. But the other half is like a normal episode, and that's great. Like especially when Zenitsu meets Nezuko. That was my favorite scene. A great scene. So it is not a bad episode per se, right? It's more like it's, you know, we can remove half the screen. It's a fortnight. They did the same thing last year, right? You know, they did like, yeah. So it is what it is. But if you look at it as a normal episode, I think it was fine. It was a good episode 1 if you ignore all the filler then. But yeah, I think so. And then we have Konosuba. So I talked about earlier, of course. Started with that in the video immediately because, you know, Konosuba is just the best comedy anime ever. I think the only anime that I feel even remotely as funny as Konosuba would be Kaguya-sama, right? And that's why I married Aqua, of course. You know, that's why I got married to Aqua. She's the coolest, funniest wife ever. I also got a Megumi figure somewhere over there. Roxy with a red hat instead. But yeah, there's a reason, right, that I married this hot waifu lady. And she's gonna be in every reaction, man. She's never seen the anime yet, so I'm gonna make a few spoof it, I guess, with Aqua, right? But yeah, we got it. It is the best anime season of all time. This freaking wife is too big, man. Yeah, she's too big. Oh yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh yeah. There we go. Aqua-chan. But seriously, if you ever seen it, it's like the greatest comedy anime of all time. I really think that Konosuba is the funniest anime that's ever been made. Like straight up, it's just the funniest anime. I haven't seen a single anime I think it's as funny. Like I said, only Kaguya-sama is the one I. Oh yeah, the snake people have my wife there. They did change the studio, right? Drive. They did, they did the studio. They did like the spin-off as well, but they didn't do the what it was. And then of course from Academia, you know, I have so much Academia stuff as well, you know. Yeah, I mean I have so much Academia stuff. Det kommer more day to that. But you know, I have my Adore cosplay, I have my Toga figures for the Rocky, Deku, I got all of it. You know, I love My Academia. I am more excited though for My Academia than Demon Slayer, probably, honestly. It is one of the best of all time. I was thinking about it earlier today too, that, I mean, One Piece is good and so on, etc. Right? But I feel that from the long-going animes, I don't count like Tsukaisen, there's only 2 seasons, right? And I don't count the anime with like 1 or 2 seasons of shonen. So I'm looking at like Black Clover, FT, One Piece, and so on, right? My Academia is probably the best one from an anime standpoint. And I mean it like literally, because yes, One Piece is maybe better in total as a manga. But One Piece anime is pretty shit. Let's be honest. We're all not talking about, yeah. One Piece anime though, they're pretty bad, okay? Pretty meh, okay? This over here, beautiful. No, but seriously, I mean, what can you say, right? What can you say? Oh, Sky-chan? Yeah. No, what can you say, right? You know, I think that My Academia is probably the best shonen anime of all time. Anime, literally, you know. And then we have stuff like One Piece manga is better. Probably, right? But the thing is that, of course, the One Piece anime is terrible, right? You know, not all the time, but you know what I mean. The padding is always terrible for many episodes, right? There's a was and so on. So this is probably the anime I'm most excited for. That's a non-isekai, right? So more so than Demon Slayer, yeah, more so than Demon Slayer. I feel stronger probably for My Academia. I also think that season 6 is one of the best seasons. Season 5 was the weakest, I would say. So I also think we're coming off from like a really strong season. Fortunately, it's more than a month delayed for some reason, so we gotta wait, I guess. But I'm so excited for My Academia. I love doing it every Saturday. Like dressing up as one of the characters. Yeah, I do full cosplay. I was done it, you know. And I just last thing, I just can't wait. People hate on Endower. One of my favorite things of Academia is the meta of people hating Endower. Like, oh, he has a redemption arc. And so, yeah, I love it. I love it. Endower, I think, is the best written, like, shonen character ever. He's such a well-written character. He's like the most realistic hero ever, that to become a hero, you have to sacrifice stuff, you know. You have to like sacrifice your kids or whatever. Yeah, like he's a incredible, well-written hero because he's trying to be a good person, you know, but he's too, you know, excessive so on. And it makes so much sense than the heroes that just manage to do everything, you know. He's an amazing written character, and him being hated is so good, man. It's so good. I love it. The meta of that is just, oh, of course they're gonna recap. Yeah, it's gonna recap. It's a month delayed, so I'm sure they're gonna do recap. They're gonna do, you know, like a beach episode or something. Hopefully, at least there's like a filler episode in the beginning. And I mean filler, not recap. You know, they go into the onsen or whatever. Not like just pure recap they do sometimes. Then we have Misfit, which has been delayed 3 times or whatever. There is anime. I reacted to it, right? Misfit of the Demon Academia. But then it got like delayed because of Corona. They blamed. That's like after Corona. And then it got delayed again. So it's probably dead in the water now. And I think they're gonna be episode 7 or no, it's part 2. I lost count. Okay, I dropped it since they delayed it twice. Okay, I just don't care anymore. Dengue Meshi, watching it right now. Trigger anime, pretty good anime. I think it's the least Trigger I've ever seen from Trigger. It's not that. I mean, it's a cooking show where they fight dragons and eat them, and I think it's pretty good. But it's not like amazing, right? And I really mean it. It's the least Trigger show because there's nothing of like crazy aliens and this and that. You know, it's. I mean, it's like decent anime again, but it's nothing like Cyberpunk, right, or so similar. There's no like that craziness that Trigger does, right? So it is a weird anime, I think, in a sense because you expect Trigger to go cray with stuff, right? But here they're following a manga, which is a good manga, I suppose, but they're following the manga, right? And I have never seen Trigger be as constrained what he can do, right? Because now they're just animating the manga, basically, with a little bit Trigger touch to it sometimes. Except a little with the Witch, right? The Witch, that's a Trigger, you know, own original show, right? They can do whatever they want, you know. So it's I don't know. I'm not disappointed because I knew it was based on a manga. So, but it's kind of unexpected, right? I expected to be the least triggery of Triggers. So it's a fine anime, but it's not Trigger, you know. Dead Alive, I never liked it. That's gone. Irregular School. So how can I say irregular school? It's one of those smarty pants schools. No, but it's like space sci-fi, right? Yeah, it's like space sci-fi isekai. I guess I would call it. It's how I argue for it. Supernatural isekai. But yeah. So 3. Now we got Kalyo 8, another new anime. So I'll be quick now, guys. We have the good animes. Now we're coming to another new anime that actually might be really good, right? So this is probably... So Kalyo number 8 here. This is probably the best new anime, right? So we have all the amazing isekai. We got Konosuba, we got Demon Slayer, right? We got Mushoku Tensei and so on, right? We got all these like, you know, amazing new sequels. But of the non-sequels, Kalyo number 8 is probably the best new anime, right? You know. So basically, Kadyus, I guess you know Kadyus are giant Godzilla and so on, right? Mothra, whatever, right? This is like a universe, basically Earth, but the Kadyus are super common, especially of course in Japan. And the 2 characters that they hate Kadyus because they're mean, right? They promise to fight the Kadyus, but the main character then becomes a weakling or whatever. He can't get a job as a Kadyu fighter. He's like Shadow Friend. She becomes a badass Kadyu warrior, baby. And then eventually he gets possessed by a Kadyu, of course, making him into like a tiny Kadyu. And then he starts fighting Kadyus, right? Of course. So from a premise standpoint, it's pretty straightforward. I think it honestly reminds me of the Monster of the Titan, right at the beginning, you know. He's an errand, basically, right? You have all these giant monsters coming. There are Godzilla instead of Titans, and then this guy can become a tiny Titan, right, to fight them. And yeah, I think from a very, very like first episode standpoint, it is very much like a Titan. Then of course there's some other lore or whatever, obviously. But to get my point, it's like giant monsters eating people, and then this guy can also become a monster to fight them instead, right? It is very similar on the premise value. But this I think is easily probably the best new anime. Then got over from Junon. My God, I feel sorry for you. I beat in the game, bro. That you have no chance of beating the game before Dogma and Rise of Ronin. And I say that this is a side note, guys. Sorry, I read Space Pilot Lord's comment there, but. This is an issue, right, in life currently. And there are too many good games, guys. Too many good games. Like, this week, we have 3 good games on Friday, right? Dragon's Dogma, Rise of Ronin, and the Peach game for Nintendo. Looks pretty good, I think, too. Last week, we had Unicorn Overlord coming out, and FF7 and so on. I beat FF7 yesterday. Got the Erit season so yesterday. And I would love to sit down and do like a tier video per day. How about Rufus, Nova, and all this stuff, right? But instead, I'm just like, well, in 2 days, I have like 3 new games to play. It's like the biggest first world problem ever. Yeah, it is the biggest first problem ever. And I genuinely have not decided yet if I'm gonna play Dogma first or Rise of Ronin. Because I think that Dogma is gonna be way more popular by people, and it's probably better for my channel or whatever, or my streams and so on. So I probably pick them honestly. But Rise of Ronin is actually probably fitting with me because I'm a huge Neo fan. I love Wulong and so on, right? So I think that from a mechanical standpoint, my gaming standpoint, I probably will like Rise of Ronin more. You know, running around it's like an Elden Ring Neo take, right? Neo Elden Ring kind of take. I think I probably would prefer that versus Dragon's Dogma, which is more Elden Ring, right? Probably, because I think the combat looks better in Rise of Ronin. But honestly, I am perplexed, okay? I am perplexed. I will see what I probably buy them both, you know. But if it's kind of silly, because if you buy one of them and wait for a few weeks, you probably get the other one cheaper. So it's kind of silly to buy both, but I haven't decided yet. Like, I haven't decided yet. Maybe I end up buying the Peach game instead, yeah. But no, but it's always hard because I can't remember the last time I saw, like, they both looked like 9 out of 10 to me, you know? They both looked like 9 out of 10 video games coming at the same time. I can't remember the last day in years of my life where I had 2, like, 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10 games coming in the same day, and almost in the same genre, Rise of Ronin and, yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2. I mean, they're both very similar. They both look to be really amazing games, and I'm just like, wow, what should I play first? It's like the biggest first world problem ever, seriously. Easy as Christ. I think the reviews will drop today for both of them, the embargo. But I already seen Rise got in 9 out of 10 and so on in the ones I've seen so far. So, but anyway, here's like Isekai Princess. So, as I mentioned earlier, we obviously have like the 3 best Isekai coming at the same time, which is amazing. But we're also gonna have like 4 or 5 trash Isekai. So this season we had probably the most Isekai ever, and this Isekai might be something I would care about in a normal season. It's like a cute, you know, little girl, she has the bloodline, blah blah blah. But now I feel like I don't care. I got my Mushitenshi, got my Konosuba, got my Rimaru-sama. I'm just like, who cares? Who cares? But I will check it out. I will check that out, whatever it doesn't work. But I will check it out. It's like Isekai power up, you know, already. This though, I mean, it's very furry. You got good design, okay? Look at her. Oh yeah, like, oh, Isekai, Isekai. Isekai. I'm just like, I think I haven't seen more Isekai, and I'm like, wait a minute, bros. I think I have to look at this Isekai. Level 2 she. Yeah, but look at the waifus he got, man. He got some good waifus, this guy. Look at this waifu here. He got some massive waifus. No, but this is an Isekai, or you know, typical fantasy, it's called slow life. So I'm not overly excited about this Isekai or fantasy or whatever. I mean, the basic same thing. Because I mean, this is one of these, how to say it, kind of like hero was banished, right? You know, or the hero is a slime tamer. This is one of these like, oh, I'm kind of chilling as a farm. I'm just, you know, chilling out. It's a little bit fun, but he really got a cool waifu harem though. I mean, it's clearly like a nice. He honestly, he got a really good waifu harem collection here, you know. Muscle tomboy, main girl is a cat, some kind of goddess. She's probably the one who makes another cat girl. You know, he got some Mega Man look-alike. He got like a nice harem though, so yeah, I like it that way. But obviously, it's one of these like, I'm not a huge fan of this genre, and I believe it's called Isekai. If I'm wrong, please, if you're Japanese, because this is a word I've heard several times. But I have to ask someone I know. I don't want to be an otaku. I have to ask someone about this because there is a term for this in Japan that I hear people say, Japanese people say sometimes, but it's very rare. But basically, it's like isekai plus laziness. They combine like the word of like isekai and resting or lazy, and the genre then basically you get isekai, right? And then you just chill out at a farm and smash your waifus. I think you mean Mushitenshi, right? With R0. Because R0 is the only isekai we're lacking. R0 is like the only one we're lacking, right? April 8th, yeah. Spice and Wolf, of course, is a very classic anime. So, I mean, this is an interesting. This is a remake, I believe, right? Correct me if I'm wrong here. This is not like a sequel, right? So, Spice and Wolf is like a classic old anime, which I guess is like wholesome fantasy or something like that, right? Yeah, a new term. Yeah, exactly, a new term. There is a term that I heard people, you know, people I know in Japan saying that, but it's very rare to hear it. But it's like a term. It sounds like isekai, but it's like isekai or isekai, something very similar. And they basically combine the word for isekai, like, you know, other world and like lazy, and something like that. And then it's like a genre where no one fights. You know, they just have hot waifus. But anyway, yeah, sorry about that. Spice and Wolf is it's a very classic anime, right? It's wholesome, like a duo traveling, seeing a fantasy world. Yeah, it's a remake. Yeah, it's a remake, right? And I'm not a spoil here, then, but I mean, it's like a classic anime, right? So I'm gonna check it out, and I recommend doing it too. But it's kind of similar to, I guess, Somali and so on. Yeah, similar to like the typical duo traveling, right? And now I got a bunch of like fantasy I don't care about. Like, honestly, I don't care anymore here. It's like, yeah, you have elf waifus, I don't know, another isekai or something. Like, seriously, this probably has the most isekais ever. It's like, oh, another isekai, you know, he becomes like the son of the noble, young son of the domain, and he's like, he has the good skill, he can see people's stats, he got a terrible skill, but it's pretty useful, he got like a witch waifu or something. I mean, this is like probably trash, you know, like trash isekai. Honestly, I feel hard this season. I feel it's hard to care about these mid isekais, right? This might be a good isekai, it might be, but again, when I have the top 3 isekai all time on the same time, I have a hard time caring about this isekai. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Now, Studio Mother, though, I'm thinking me sure they make this kind of etchy animes, though, so it might be etchy. Yeah, they make like they make other. They only make etchy anime, I think, more or less. Yeah, they only make like Arifurata. Didn't they make like the Mega Man Goddess too? I think, and so on. Yeah, I think they only make these like hardcore like etchy shows. So he might smash it, which who knows? He might get in some witch oppa or something. No, but that's interesting with Sandland. I thought about Sandland. I have the manga of Sandland too. I have the whole manga. But Sandland now is longer, right? So the anime today, that's kind of like the manga again. But next week, I believe, the anime is going to be after the manga ends. So Sandland, next episode, next week is probably more interesting. So the first episode today are basically like it's the manga volume, you know, by Akira Toriyama, before he died, of course, many years ago. But the next week then, which is like episode 8 or 9 or something like that, which the first 7 or 8 are like the, you know, first volume, they are basically like the afterwards, right? So the first episode now are like the movie and the first volume, and then what's coming next week, or 2 weeks from now, is like stuff that he worked on before he died. So it's like Akira Toriyama's like, you know, manuscript, and then it was animated, you know, like not now, but the point, yeah. So it's like a post-mortem release. It's basically like canon anime that he never did in the manga, but it's like, you know, continuation of the manga. So Sand, I think, is interesting to watch. Not today, perhaps, because this was like a prolonged intro, but yeah, that was coming afterwards. Might be interesting. Yeah, the anime is going further. Exactly. Let's talk about it immediately then. So people get confused by it. So I watched it this morning. I can talk about it immediately to not confuse people. This list where I can go up here. So this is a good point you make there. I can explain it more and further because I watched this morning. So it's also here. So Sandland, this series. Sandland is an anime, of course, by Akira Toriyama, and I watched the first episode this morning, and I have read the manga, right? So they released half the season today on Disney Plus, and then the next half is coming like once per week into next season, of course. Then, and the first half then today is basically like the movie and, you know, the first volume that I have in the manga, right? With some added scenes and so on and so forth, right? But it's basically kind of like the Demon Slayer take on it, right? It's like canon movie, and the anime becomes longer, right? Okay. But next episode, I believe, next week, it's gonna be a new episode. They have 2 new characters, like a wife coming in, of course. It's gonna be a female baby and so on, you know what I mean? Of course. That was lacking in the manga, right? So now it's gonna be like new characters coming in, and this woman looks like, you know, Akira Toriyama style, right? So to my understanding, her name is Anne, I think it is, and you know, she's drawn and so on and written by Akira Toriyama before he died, right? You know, and then worked on this anime after he died and so on. So yeah, it's like a post-mortem Akira Toriyama bit was happening in Sandland, I believe, in the after the first 6 episodes, probably episode 7 and forward. That's like you know, continuing the manga. Yeah. Today I think it's just like a manga mixture recap thing. But yeah, get back to the normal episodes. But basically, it's like this weird thing where they dropped half the season immediately, which to me is like, First, honestly, I gave it a little minus right in my review. I was like, I don't like to binge, right? I don't like when Netflix and Disney Plus so on, when they drop a whole anime in the same day. I don't like that. But then I realized after I seen the episode, I didn't say it in the review honestly, but after I see it, I realized actually, you know what? Maybe that was smart because they kind of dropped like half of it, and then half is like, you know, was released basically. So maybe it actually made sense to think about it. Man, Gushing is finally cancelled. Are you telling me that Gushing is finally cancelled? That's what I'm hearing. It's finally cancelled. Good. They finally canceled it. Anyway, it's another. Honestly, I like these anime though. So Kamiwa Game, so God of Gaming, right, or God's Game or something. I like the genre, you know. It's like psychological gambling. You know, one of my all-time favorite anime is Kaji. I say it every time. You know, I love Kaji. I love One House, right? Both of my top 10, and of course Akagi. So I'm always on the lookout for these kind of animes here, where they play some kind of gambling, right? It's a cancellation. Everyone knows that it's cancelled now, okay? It is cancelled now. Everyone knows that it's cancelled now. Stop pretending it isn't cancelled, okay? Stop pretending. You get the aqua sleeping mode stuff. Yeah, there we go. Okay, get up the double aqua. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Let's pretend that it is cancelled. But anyway, I always look out for these gambling animes. I love gambling animes. However, most of them suck. Let's be honest here. Like, I think it's the best genre ever when you get it right. You know, when you get that gambling, the psychology, the tension correctly. This is like the best anime genre ever. But usually it freaking suck bad. So it's a little bit like, you know, I'm gonna look at it. Hopefully it's good. Yeah, God's Game. Hopefully it's good. And then it's a bunch of other fantasy. Honestly, this is just so much fantasy and isekais. Because even isekai, basically is isekai. Yeah. And they got their blessings and god powers and so on. I just don't care, seriously. Whatever, get angry at me. I don't care about this. Here this is kind of typical manga shonen stuff. What else do I care about this season? Engi is terrible studio, man. This, okay. Unnamed Memory. I don't have much trust in it because this again is kind of generic, but also Engi, the studio making this show, has, you know, they have a pretty bad track record, I feel, with some of their animes. I don't know, they have a little bit like, take it up here. Didn't they make like Detectives Are Dead? That's so weird. Otome was okay, but I mean, the animation was pretty bad. Saki-chan, yeah, the thing about this anime, they was so terrible adaptation. Yeah, shit the world. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, this anime, you know, it was like one of the worst. Episode 1 was like, they blew the body at the first episode. Have you seen this anime? The first episode was like Taro, so beautiful. And then they lost, the budget went down like by a mile every episode. It was so crazy. So I have a trash issue with Engi, certainly. Massive trash issues. Where's my airship? That's true. I collect my stuff, you know. I have an airship in the bottom, man. How do you know about an airship right now? Who knows? Maybe I work with an airship though. I actually been at GTC this week, right? So I've been at NVIDIA's AI conference this week. So I'm going a little bit. So yeah. What do you know? Maybe actually I work with flying stuff. Maybe I was at a flying base last week. Who knows, right? Who knows? But yeah, I was at a flying base last week. That's true. Yeah, where was I? Whatever. This is one of those Iski basically. You know, just a nice couple doing tomatoes. No, but seriously, I've seen this anime and I read the trailer. So this is one of those, you know, romance, supernatural, or one of them is like a wolf or something, or a ghost or whatever. I was a gambler, but yeah, as a side note, if you didn't know that, I used to work as a croupier, you know. I used to work as a dealer and so on. I used to play a lot of card games. I played poker and so on. For money for many years, of course. My cousin was also a professional poker player on TV and so on. And of course, I played many different games, right, for money. Both like normal games, so to speak, like StarCraft, but also like, you know, card games like Magic and so on. And I played poker for many years, and then, you know, I was a stock trader for a few years, right? So I made most of my money stock trading. And but currently, I work for a secret, you know, super secret, building stuff instead. So yeah, last week it was that secret place as well, you know. It's really funny, but I have a cat robot definitely though. I said last Friday I was making this AI, his helicopter AI. Yeah, I was a basically. So I would be the guy having a cat robot at home, you know. Definitely, I would be that guy, certainly. But I would probably honestly be the closest person in this country to have like an airship. Like, I'm pretty close to having that, yeah, basically. Gets business when I work, yeah, it's interesting. But anyway, let's not talk about too much spoilers here. I'm still trying to, you know, create Skynet, so that'll spoil it here, right? It's not an easy guy, Newgate, so he's obviously been teleported. Honestly, I don't care, it's not an easy guy, oh god. I mean, usually I have this Aqua meme, right, of Aqua crying, and I'm like, it's so much easy, guys! But now I'm fine with it, yeah. No, who cares? Now it's like, okay, 10 more isekais, but I don't care. But yeah, this is like, you know, power fantasy guy. This guy, you know, he gets stuck in this video game and it's awesome. I just don't feel that I care too much about it. This though, Windbreaker, okay? This you're gonna watch, guys, because you know that I love, you know, Torman and so on. You know, I love Tokyo Revengers. So this is basically a bunch of badass, you know, Yankees, right? So you know I have I collect Yankee animes, and I feel it's kind of funny too because I feel like I am the only person that's seen all the goddamn different delinquent animes, you know. I don't think I feel like people don't react to them anymore. React to it, yeah. Tokyo Revengers, can't be that many people that kept watching it. I was still there, you know. I was there with my Takemichi, right? You know, I was like, you could do it, Takemichi. But yeah, so Windbreaker. Basically, it's like a martial art delinquent anime, right? We got these cool guys, and they go around fighting weak people and protecting the weak, right? And it becomes like a, you know, a badass martial art anime. It reminds me the most of Tenyu Tenge, I guess. Another really good, you know, martial art anime, delinquent anime. Of course, I'm a big fan of Tenyu Tenge. You know, I love Tenyu Tenge. It's all great after all. I've known all great air gear as well. Yeah, I know my all great, you know. So it is. I love this genre, you know. One of my all-time favorite animes that I never hear and talk about. I'm gonna bring it up here, guys. It isn't like my top 10, to be honest, right? This anime isn't in my top 10, but it certainly is pretty high up there. For like a, how's it? What is it called when you're like? I don't know what to call it. We're like. There's a good word for it. We're like, I know this is trash, but I love it anyway. Give me a good word. Give me a good word for it. You know, guilty pleasure. Yeah, guilty pleasure. Something like that, you know. Where it's like, I know this anime is garbage. It's like, it's freaking garbage. It's actually freaking garbage, man. But, you know. Yeah, it's garbage, but it's like trash, so. It's like, but I respect it, you know, with its trashness. So here we go. This is the image I wanted. This is the image I wanted, you know. I want the image on the waifu, of course. I want the waifu image. You might have figured it out, guys. I'm bringing it up here on the screen. People might have found it. Here we go. Ooh, look at that. Oh yeah, look at that. Beelzebub. I needed my Yankee waifus, come on. With the bokken and so on. So, one of my all-time favorite, like, guilty pleasure. Not a very good anime, but come on, you know, I love it. It's Beelzebub, right, you know. bunch of gangsters fighting each other, and the main character is like getting powered up by this baby. Like Satan's baby. It's so bad too. I love it. It's like he gets, Satan's baby Beelzebub, and he's like, "Oh, you're the most violent person in Tokyo," or something. So the baby loves him because he's so incredibly violent, right? And then the baby makes him fight people all the time, No, but Ikitosen is more like a martial art anime, though. Like actually, they have actual fights, In Beelzebub, they have fights too, but it's pure comedy. It's like, oh, the main character is the strongest person ever, but he doesn't want to fight as much. To go into the baby, and everyone tries to fight him. So it's beautiful, beautiful anime. I love it. Here goes another isekai, because isekais are. This season has like a billion isekais. It's crazy. This to add monster actually looks pretty decent. He dies because a goblin, gotta level it up. He looks like a slime. You gotta level up, You gotta have his a team of monsters. It is slime, isn't it? It looks decent, but I mean, again, it really feels like this is like carbon copy, over Tenga. Yeah, I guess it's more similar to Tenga. Yeah, that's true. And it also, Tenga is also more like a martial art anime where they have like tournaments and so on, kinda. And then they get like a cute girl play video games. So I'm also afraid of these animes. I would say game, right? So this anime is based on a video game. No, actually I do like Joestar. They of course are behind Arknight and so on. So that's a pretty cool studio though. And they make pretty good, that's pretty good anime actually. Yeah, I like the anime, Arknights. But this here doesn't have that feel to it. I don't know. Might check it out, but that's true. Yeah, Sand. Of course, they both have the name Beelzebub. That's true. They both have the name Beelzebub, of course. Beelzebub or Lord of the Flies, right? Now, Yuri Camp is an anime I love, but I said immediately with this thing, bam. So Yuri Camp is an anime I love, right? I love Yuri Camp. The problem with Yuri Camp is that it's incredibly copyrighted. Okay, so I had obviously I reacted to Yuri Camp. I think my channel was pretty new. I think the channel was very new. Then I started to react to Yuri Camp season 1 and so on. So I had the Yuri Camp. Yeah, it's not my first reaction I ever did, basically. And I had it up on the channel for like maybe 2 years then, right, on the channel. But there's so many people that I got a copyright strike for Yuri Camp over the years. And I got one too, after like 2 years afterwards, yeah. So I removed all the videos. And I heard people getting copyright strike on like the Heya Camp and so on, right? So Yuri Camp is like a famous, it's the worst Japanese copyright company behind it. So I don't react to it anymore. Right? But I like Yuri Camp, and that's why I did do C2 and so on, because it's like one of the worst anime companies behind it. And I always say it to other people, right? But I honestly, I stopped caring, right? When I was new on YouTube, because it's very easy to figure out what animes are copyright issues, so to speak. They have the highest at least. Sometimes you don't know, but to figure out the one that has the highest chance is easy. It's very easy coding, right? You write like a script, go over the most things. It's a query, make an Excel sheet, basically. So I have an Excel sheet that just automatically calculates, highest chance of getting a strike, basically. That's super easy to make. And I've told people about it, all the YouTubers many times, right? But they never listen to me, so I don't care anymore. So I hope everyone gets strikes and says, "See, I'm so bitter." No, but seriously, I've told people that you shouldn't do X anime because there's one. Yeah, if there's one studio you should be worried about, is the one doing Yuri Camp and the one owns them. Right? It's very, very easy to find the biggest issue of copyright on YouTube. So I don't know. I warned people many times; they never listen to me. But yeah, it's mathematically like the worst anime to talk about. That's true. As a Goblin Slayer, yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, but Adam Monster looks interesting. But it's like hovering together. So it's a Yuri anime, of course. So gotta watch things. Girls love, yeah. Gotta watch the anime. Look at it. This is very Yuri. Look at it. Badass senpai. Oh my god, Head over heels over Sam. You can. I've seen the trailer, but I read the text over here too, like senpai. But even without looking at the trailer, know the text, and you're seeing this first image, you know what it's about. I've seen so many Yuri animes, and almost all of them have this, Kohai senpai stuff. Yeah, immediately it's like, oh, she has this like hot, sexy senpai. That's like a few years older. It's like, oh, what a lady! You can see immediately she's trying to smash the older woman. It's an incredible comment. I don't know why this thing is so common in the Yuri, but yeah, in almost every Yuri anime is one older woman and one younger woman. Almost every time, man. Immediately it's like, oh yeah, this is Yuri, because you have like a thirsty Kohai, the one that gets on with a mature lady. Yeah, like every time, man. My God, every time. Yeah, Jesus Christ. I'll probably check it out, but I don't know. And then we get some, I don't know, sleepover club with demons. Yeah, but that is not Yuri. That should be cancelled, man. Should be cancelled. Like this again should be cancelled. Clearly, the age thing doesn't make any sense. No, this is a classic rom-com though. Guys tall, short girls, so on. No, but I don't know. This looks like a pretty basic romance. So keep going. What is it? Back kind of black battle thing? I'll keep going. I don't care. This is interesting here. Sentai Loser Rainier. Okay, Sentai Dashikaku. Because for me, this is made by Joestar. So the anime. So Joestar is the guys behind, again, the architect and so on, right? And they made an anime studio, so I guess they're producing anime now, not based on the games anymore. Because eventually they have to build stuff, right? But it's kind of funny, right? Because if you make your own anime studio for your video game, eventually you have an anime studio. So now, like, I guess we make other anime stuff. So I like how they are branching out, doing other animes now, not based on their how to say it, right? On their own games. This one interested me because it looks like a Trigger show, okay? Mentioned earlier, right, with Dangan Meshi. I'm a big Trigger fan who isn't. And this anime, Loser Rainier, it looks a lot like it's like a Trigger show, It looks like it's a Trigger anime. So I have my hopes for it. I don't know. Yeah, I have my hope for this anime. I feel it could be a little bit of like a Trigger take on it, Definitely gonna check it out. And then we have, of course, Butch-sama. I love the show, man, because they're a little ecchi maid. So, if you haven't seen the show, this is 3D, of course, now then. But this is Shinigami no Butchan. So, basically, it's one of these, like, teasing romance, right? It's very Nagatoro, of course. Very similar to Nagatoro. It's actually extremely similar to Nagatoro's anime. And, Usaki and so on, right? Once hangs out. And so on. So, it's a great anime about basically this... he's a duke. Yeah, he's like, what is that? Son of a duke. And he has a death curse on him. So he can't touch anyone, then they die, right? Then he got this like super thirsty maid that's all like, oh, you wanna see my pansy? So he keeps like flirting with him, and she's like a perm, and she keeps like throwing her bras at him. Yeah, it honestly is an absurd anime on a premise standpoint. Like, she constantly tries to get some with him, but she knows she will die if he ever touches her. And she constantly is like up in his face, trying to like seduce him. It's like one thing, she has a death wish, seriously. But it's a funny anime, and if you like that, teasing comedy rom-com, it also makes sense because he actually can't be with her without killing her, right? For his curse. Of course, he's gonna get rid of the curse eventually, obviously, but he can't right now, right? So with the other animes, like in Nagatoro and so on, right, where the guy can't be with the girl, it doesn't make any sense. But here it's like, actually, it makes sense. At least this anime actually makes sense. He can't touch her. Now, in Gus Bravo, he has, well, to some extent, I obviously could have seen Gus Bravo. In Gus Bravo, the guy has, what's it called again? Androphobia, something like that. Misophobia. He got this like weird thing where he gets like a rash by women, right? He gets like he has like a women disease. If that's a woman, he gets like sick, right? Yeah. Now this guy is like the woman dies. So this like, if anything, is the reverse from Gus Bravo. If he touches her, she dies. So yeah, in Gus Bravo, you could argue for that he would die, right? The main character can't be with a woman because then he dies. Yeah, he's allergic. Yeah, so he is allergic to women except the alien girl, right? So he would die. But here's the reverse: then he would kill the women instead. So that's what I mean. It makes sense that he wouldn't, act on his urges, even though she's like super thirsty all the time. But yeah, you probably loves anime. It's very similar to Usaki and Nagatoro as well. It's very, very similar. It's one of the best teasing animes. Alice is adorable. Then it has like a magical, mysterious backstory around as well, though, with witches and magic and so on. It is made by the same people that did High School Girl, so it's kind of CGI thing. I think it was great, but you have to get used to it. It's very different than normal animes. But I already seen High School Girl before I watched the anime then, so it was easier, of course. House of Girl is a great anime for that matter. Yeah, exactly. In Girls Bravo, only the pink-haired girl, he can touch her, right? But this is the opposite. He's danger for everyone else then. Of course, Loom. Ready to watch it, my girl. Loom, of course. We can love it. Oh yeah, last week was so sad. Last week on Loom, I said here, side note, that was so sad. He meets this ghost girl, and you're thinking there's gonna be this like some kind of storyline how the ghost girl is actually I don't know, like not dead or something, and it's just a ploy to like get with Atter or something. But then she just dies. Like the last episode was so sad, seriously, of Loom. Like yeah, the new girl, I thought it was gonna be a joke, Oh, she's a fake ghost girl or something, and then no, she died. Like what? I'm laughing at it now, but I was like crying. I was like, what is this? I thought it was a stupid joke because Loom is like weird comedy anime. I literally thought that this cancer girl, right? Like in my head, right? Having seen Loom and Ranma and so on, I believe that this cancer patient girl was faking having cancer so she can get love with Ataru. She was like, oh, if you date me, I will survive my cancer or whatever, right? So I thought she was faking it to get the date, because that's usually how the story in Loom goes. So she does that and she dies. She actually just dies, basically. I'm like, what? I thought it was like a joke. I thought she was pretending to be a ghost, or that she was gonna go back to her body or something, or I don't know. It was, oh my god, it was so weird. It felt completely out of place with the anime. It was super sad. Oh my god. But that's the other thing though I loved with, when you bring up there, I love that with Domestic Nukanyo, right? Domestic girlfriend that he does her in episode 1. I love that, yeah. There's so few rom-com horror animes where they actually ever, get anywhere, right? So I love in the Musicani, they do it immediately. The first minute, I'm like, you know what, I respect that. Yeah, it's like, for once the main character gets some action. This guy was like, immediate action. This anime has been airing for 2 minutes, I better do it now. You're like, yeah, okay, I respect that. Yeah. I like how it says here, it's a busty bookstore. Yeah, like, you can see the word is busty here. Yeah, you're like, oh yeah, it's busty. Let's see, move the camera a bit here. Oh, look at that. This obviously is gonna be a great anime. You know it's gonna be a good anime where the text is like, Ogawa Sumireko is the busty bookstore lady. Yeah, she want in her youth. Yeah, she want to be a novelist. I think that's what we care about now. Yeah, busty bookstore. This obviously is a must-watch now. That yeah, it's like busty lady. Certainly a must. Wait, did I move on? What? Why didn't I go back there? Sorry about that. There we go. Yeah, she got big up eyes. Definitely a watch show. Then we have some weird bartender anime. This either could be, honestly, this could be really good, or it's gonna be terrible. This is one of those like nothing happens anime, right? But it's gonna be one of the realistic animes where the main cat is a bartender and people come to him and talk to him about their issues. Oh, my wife is mean to me or whatever, right? Oh, my boss is bad, So this is either gonna be a terrible anime, completely boring, or it's gonna be like a really good anime where they actually have like interesting discussion about work life and so on, right? So this feels like a typical anime where you don't really know. Oh yeah, because of Demon Lord. They always becomes they always pretend. Yeah, it's also Demon Lord there. Good. Then we got Kyoto Anime Strong. Kyoto Anime is back, of course. Hibiki. I haven't seen anything, but it's like a band girl geek, which is let's talk about it. But it has a little bit to do with the whole Kyoto Fire animation. If I remember correctly now, the terrible thing with Kyoto Fire was because the guy that did it, he stole his insanity. he was like, oh, they stole the name from my train stuff for this anime. Something dark like that, if I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, maybe correctly. Anyway, then we got like typical river vampire dormitory. You know, this is like a reverse harem or something. Yeah, it's like a bunch of pretty harem vampire boys. That sounds good though. Yeah, the Demon Lord is also, the Demon Lord is always hot, man. Come on, the Demon Lord is always hot. Jesus Christ. And then we got like some kind of stand-up girls or something. Now we go to the bottom here. So now it's like a musical animes. Dogokobo though, okay. Dogokobo are awesome, okay. They make all these, you know, girls doing stuff things. What do you call it? So this is like graffiti girls, yeah. So Dogokobo is always like, it's always usually 4 ladies too, yeah. Dogokobo goes back with like graffiti girls. This actually might be really good. I love Dogokobo. Dogokobo's done all these, you know, new Oshikoi of course. But before Oshikoi they did like, you know, like new game, or done more Oshikoi stuff. But it's so much, yeah, Senpai, Umaru-chan, oh yeah, Sleeping Fall, oh yeah, this anime too. They do so much of this. Dumbbell, of course, yeah. They do so much of this, like, you know, slice of life, just like chilling, having like a random job. Oh yeah, Sleeping Princess or. So Dogokobo does all this like funny animes about people that are like, oh yeah, we're gonna go to the gym or something, or we're gonna do this thing. You know, cute girls having cute time, right? So this anime here with like these cute girls doing, I don't know, graffiti then. Like honestly, these are a regular anime, but it's probably be good, okay? I'm definitely gonna watch it. Cute girls don't graffiti, right? Dogokobo never fails, yeah. It's like, it's gonna be adorable about these badass chicks that look super adorable. They look like they're super kawaii, but they're gonna commit, you know, heinous crime of graffiti in Tokyo or something. And it's probably gonna be them like, oh no, the cops or something. Yeah, it's gonna be the cutest criminal girls ever. It's gonna be adorable. I'm sure on it. And then we got some random, I don't know, it's can't anymore. We're in the end now, guys. Oh yeah, this looks pretty good. Fable. Basically, Yakuza dude trying to live a normal life. Yeah, exactly, after they failed them. Yeah, exactly. But this looks like a pretty, how to say it, like a super good Yakuza guy that had never lived a normal life, right? He's gonna try now to have like a normal, you know. And I think this is a pretty common genre, almost not a genre, but it's a premise, right? Where we have, it's kind of like a dragon, you know. It's like Ichiban. This guy's like a really good Yakuza, but he's trying to quit and try to be good, you know. That kind of feel to it. He's a little bit like, yeah, Dragon of Dogma something. Yeah, it's a little bit the dragon of this thing. It's like, oh, I'm gonna quit now, you know. Something like that. But it looks interesting, and obviously I watch it because I watch all the Yakuza stuff. You know, I love the stuff. Yeah, Sudre has to be trusted, man. Then we got some manhwa stuff that is probably have no storyline. It's gonna fight each other. All the manhwas. Pokemon, Wiz, oh yeah, this is like kawaii, you know, Oksan cooking. This is like cute girl don't, I don't know what they're doing, say anything. Way in the bottom we have this thing, yeah, it's like, this is like, Rocky, yeah, what's called Butcher the Rock, but the rocker instead. Yeah, but you need to have production. Man, this anime never made them. If they had that, they would make way less animes at this thing with that crazy broker girl like this. But anyway, guys, I got to end now, of course. To iterate, all the best animes are in the beginning, right? I don't think they will ever care about more than the bottom. We are like, oh, bicycle anime. Oh, it's like cute girl on bicycle. Okay, this is a bit orderly. It's like cute girl on riding bicycle. Of course. Josh Pedal, but they're girls instead. And then we have, oh nice. Now it's like cute girl on golfing. Yeah, cute girl on golfing. What more is this season? The bunch of, I'm jumping over the kid shows. I'm jumping over like the shows for toddlers, basically. Yeah, that's the end of it. That's the end, guys. How about the stream? What are you excited for? Quickly check here movies. Blue Lock recap. Butcher recap. This is like a complete recap. Sorry. Dead. What's that? We have the Ice anime, Kenya. It's either a recap or after the first season, I think. Then we have Sand I mentioned earlier. do a very quick check here if I think it's interesting. I'll say it immediately. Uma Musume. I haven't seen it since season 2 here, but freaking, I love their art, seriously. Something I just love, I mean, I like Uma Musume, and something I love in Musume, he's a movie coming next season, is that, I mean, they all have some good art. All the girls always look badass, you know. She has a tail, of course, a furry, obviously. You can barely see the tail behind her, right? But it ignores a furry or whatever, right? She's a beast girl. I just always love the design, yeah. It's just, they always make some really cool looking characters in Uma Musume. They're really good at that, like it's making them look badass, these chicks in Musume, seriously. But, yeah, Konosuba is the biggest thing by far, I would say. But popularity-wise, Demon Slayer, of course, is the most popular. That and Academia, right? But, I don't know, there's not a movie... Doraemon. Like Doraemon 43. That's like 43 movies, man. 43 movies. It's like Coal Miner Girl. Yeah, this looks fun, man. Actually, it might be a pretty good movie. Going into some kind of magical coal mine. This one I've seen. This one I've seen a trailer for a few times. The Oni Girl. It's a kind of typical romance, with like, cute Oni Girl picks up a human and they fall in love, right? And then we had a bunch of other stuff. So not any movies I'm super excited for. And then OVAs, as mentioned, is like Sandland, which are on Disney Plus then. Is there anything else? Sandland. Yeah, as mentioned earlier again though, yeah, Sandland of course. Episode 8 coming next week there. So yeah, the first 1 to 7 are like the movie / the manga. With extended stuff then, but yeah. So you could probably skip to episode 8 if you have seen the movie and read the manga as well. Kicks and Kicks too. Okay, that's it guys, okay. No other OVA than Sandland. Interesting. Yeah. So to just recap, right? I like to do recapping. It's kind of like the way to present stuff, right? You're presenting some new information. I will say that this thing here, though, for this season, though, right? Sitting here, I got my Aqua, I got my Slime, I got my wife with me, right? Got my wife. Can't wait to do the reaction with my wife, Gonna have her in every video. But like I said earlier at the beginning of the stream, this is like the best season ever when it comes to the top tier animes. Arguably, maybe it has been. Maybe we've had better season before. Maybe we had a better season before in the past, perhaps, where it was like, I don't know, 10 good animes or whatnot, right? Perhaps. But I think I've never seen, again, right, a season with so many, like, absolute top tier. So not looking at, like, how many mid tiers, the point, right? I mean, maybe some other has, like, 8 out of 10, like, a lot of, like, mid stuff, right, so to speak. Or not mid then, but better than mid, but not top tier, right? S tier, they call it. But this season really is like, oh my god, there's some freaking S tier, man. Yeah, obviously Shion is the best girl, you know that. I really should buy that Shion figure, right? I look at buying it one side. I should buy that Shion figure, that half meat Shion figure. The one that looks like my Arena figure over there, same company. Should really do that. Yeah, freeing, right? Is that company name? 1.4 scale Shion. But, yeah, so just eat it quickly again, right? The best animes of all time. Slime, and I made a point earlier, and I think that's very true, that Slime is like the best power fantasy of all time, okay? Power fantasy animes are quite popular, especially called Isekai, power fantasy, but Slime is the number one, right? It's not the first one, but it's one of the earlier ones probably like popular, and it is, I still think, probably the best one. I've seen so many other Isekai power fantasy by now, right, since Slime, and I don't think anyone beats Slime. One thing Slime does well is that it's having Rimuru being a bad Rimuru-sama is also how the building of the place too, right? Slime is really good at, I think, the whole world building, but also the actual literal building the city. Gives me that old good, gaming feeling, right? Like Suikoden, building up city, getting the blacksmith, getting the armor guy, getting that thing, building this thing. I really like how Slime does that. I think Slime is still probably the best anime at that isekai, okay, I'm gonna build my own empire in a new world thing. There are no other animes beat that. That being said, there are many games they've done it way better, absolutely. But not an anime, no. So Slime did it really well. Rimmer is like the most belovable OP power guy and so on, right? So yeah, Slime, amazing. So after Slime then, the amazing Slime dude, we have called Tenshi, best with the main character ever, Rudy, best, most, well-written character development character of all time. Where's my Roxy figure? This is Roxy. And then of course we also have Konosuba with my wife. I got 3 Aqua figures with the Make of the Darkness. We can't wait, right, for the greatest isekai of all time to all be on the same time. Yeah, the greatest isekai of all time. And then of course we also have My Academia and Demon Slayer. Where's My Academia? My Academia, det är det. Nu måste jag have My Academia, right? I'll say it here lastly. I mentioned it briefly earlier, but I am definitely looking forward more to My Academia. But the thing is that it's interesting. They're both kind of similar, right? Superheroes are fighting and so on. They're both like shonen-ish, right? But I think that what My Academia does much better than Demon Slayer is that I really care about the character in My Academia. I don't care too much about the character in Demon Slayer. I care about like Nesco and Tanya and so on. But there are not that many characters actually in Demon Slayer, right? My Academia does really feel more like shonen, right? It feels more like One Piece or whatever. You have so many characters, you have so many. I'll say it. I actually do really care about those characters. I love Hawk, I love Endeavor, right? And so on. That's something that I think Academia does so well, right? That he really creates like this typical Spider-Man behind me, and the typical, hero world, right? And I actually really care about the journeys of all these side characters. That's something I don't in Demon Slayer. So even if whoa, Aqua, ooh, captured, nice. Got it in my hand. Oh, Aqua, hit the table in the wrong place. Even if I do care about like I say Deku and Tanjiro, probably roughly the same, so to speak. Actually, I probably care about Deku more, but roughly the same. I feel like I really, really care more about all the supportive characters, right, in My Academia. So I'm interested to see where it goes to Demon Slayer, because the thing is that Demon Slayer is that the Hashira, they're all cool, Mitsuru is all hot and fun and so on, but I don't care about too much, I just don't, yeah. But I really do care about all the, senseis. I really care what happens to, like, Razorhead or All Might. Yeah, I really care about those guys in My Academia. So it's like, it feels more like I really want to have it more, right, because you really have interest. You really invested in the whole world a lot more. You invested in all the different characters, not just the main character, right? But yeah, managed to grab her in my hand there, Use it, Aqua. I'm ready for it. Everyone else is good. But yeah, I mean, you have the female character. Of course, you have Miruko. That's actually true, though. That's actually a good point, actually. I think that Demon Slayer actually has pretty weak waifus, right? Demon Slayer has like Mitsuru, and she had a terrible fight. But what more is it? Shinobu, I guess, something. Yeah, like I don't know. Demon Slayer has, obviously you have Musan. Musan, waifu Musan, of course. And Daki, okay, that's true. Daki. But she's dead now, yeah. When Daki died, it was over for me. When Daki, and they constantly showed her buttocks, when she died, it was over, right? Then it was over. It was over. That was like the last episode I cared. When they removed Daki, then I stopped caring about Demon Slayer. But absolutely, Demon Slayer doesn't have that many characters, and My Academia has so many female characters, yeah. But that's kind of like I said generally. My Academia really has a lot of characters, generally speaking. So you have, of course, Miruko, obviously best girl. But certain people like Toga. Toga is probably the world's most favorite yandere character now. Yuno Gasai is obviously a more iconic yandere character, but I bet you most people have never seen Mirai Nikki. So Toga is probably the world's #1 yandere girl, right? Quite popular. And then Oshiko, of course, Uraka-chan, and you got Ryok, you got the Dragon Lady, she's pretty hot. We got, I hate Momo, but people like Momo, so right? Yeah, you got Froppy Girl. Yeah, I got Muscle Bunny. Come on, Miruko, Miruko's best girl by far. Come on, Miruko's best girl. What more do we have? We have Midnight Sensei, or we had, I guess. Midnight Sensei, yeah. She's gone, I guess. Miss Yoke. Oh yeah, I mean I haven't read the manga, right? But the anime ends with that, like all my women, all my the waifu coming flying. Yeah, oh yeah, for that. Yeah, it ends with that like muscular lady, like Stars and Stripes, on flying on a bomb plane. Yeah, she coming from America to help All Might. Like All Might student, everything. Like All Might's disciple. Like a waifu All Might comes flying. No, I've been spoiled though. I've heard people say that she's very disappointing. I don't know exactly what happened, but I've heard people say that, yes, this like super muscular American chick coming in, right, next season here, and then she's gonna get owned immediately. Something like that. I don't know what's gonna happen exactly, but I heard people say that you're gonna get disappointed heavily because she looks amazing. She's like, I'm coming all night! I'm like, yes! And then she's like, oh, she's gonna be terrible. She's gonna be a loser that gets killed in like one episode or something. I don't know. I hope she doesn't, but it's probably true. It's probably true. For some reason, he hates the waifus, right? Like Mirko or someone, yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel he always punishes the waifus the more, right? He always gets the poor heroic lady to take the most damage. That's that anime. Certainly. But still, though, that's true. The first episode probably be that muscular American lady, Stasha Stripes, right? Before to seeing her. See what she can do. But, yeah, her introduction is great, man. He has my bomb play, like, I'm coming, All Might. See, disappointing, but it sounds. Yeah, I remember when I did it. You know, my reaction then, of course, what happened last year, maybe 2 years ago. But when I did my reaction to her introduction, right, every comment in the live stream and on the video was like, "You're gonna be so disappointed." every comment was like, "You're gonna hate this anime." Yeah, I know. Yeah, like what's wrong with him? He loves Miracle. We all love Miracle. Like why did he hurt Miracle so much for? Give us some more plot armor. He must have some kind of fetish for that, you know. He's like, oh yeah, he must. That's why he's that man. Don't want to get married to him, man. Yeah, the author of Academia, he clearly likes the stuff. Yeah, Miracle's his favorite character. He's like, oh yeah, gonna remove an arm and be hot. So he's clearly got some issues, man. That guy clearly got some issues. Clearly. He got some issues, man. So Starship Strikes also probably get owned in the same way, right? My god, yeah. I mean, honestly, I probably get angry, but I kind of expect it now that she's gonna, come in, be super hot, be having like super muscular lady, and then some random goon will like shoot her or something immediately, and she's gone. I don't know what happened, but it's probably gonna be something really dumb. Yeah, I've seen those though. You're spoiling now though, but I've seen those though. You're spoiling now for that hasn't happened in the anime yet, but it feels like some of those things in for a manga, it's almost impossible to spoil on. Like I like Maka, I have a Maka figure over there. Right now I put this in here, but I used to have a Maka figure here, right? It's 18 is taking over her spot now since Akira Toriyama, but like Maka is like new model basically, you know, her new look, right? That has been spotted me for years, right? It is so hard, of course, being like me, right? Always looking for market stuff. No, but always looking for, you know, muscle waifus or whatever, right? Like subscribing to, like, you know, Brick Reddit or whatever. Like, of course, I'm like a subscriber to all the muscular waifu pages on Reddit and so on Twitter. And of course, you get spoiled with like Miracle and so on. It's impossible not to get those spoilers, basically, of like the waifu changes, right? If you're like me and have a couple of different waifu stuff you're following, you're always gonna get spoiled on like Miracle and so on, their new looks and their new outfits or whatever. But yeah, it's maybe he was ready, but I don't know. He's want to give her like a really annoying outfit. For that matter, I don't know if you've seen it, but I always thought that Nami was supposed to be like her, you know. Have you seen OG Nami? Put off the streaming, guys. I should go now. I'm hungry, but it's a food yesterday. But have you seen OG Nami? OG Nami was like a cyborg. Like, what happened with that, Oda? What happened with that, man? That was cool, Oda. That was cool. That was cool, man. If you haven't seen, I will show you. Give me a second. It's dark now here. Like OG Nami was a cyborg. Wait, that'd be way crazier, man. But the OG Nami in One Piece looks like a much better warrior too. So she probably would be a much more competent warrior lady. They should be quite different. Here it is. Oh, he's over me. Let me fix that. Whatever. She'll be next to me otherwise. Whatever. So, whatever. Ad hoc finding Mecha Nami here. But yeah, OG Nami was supposed to be like how would I say it? Like a cyborg, you know? She was supposed to be like hardcore cybernetics with like an actual arm, being completely mecha arm, right? Having no, her whole left arm is like guts in Berserk. Yeah, like completely mechanized. Not just a little bit. And look at her leg too. So her leg is also mechanized, right? So her whole left arm was like a cyborg arm, and then her and then also her leg as well up there. So she lost both both two limbs, right? She would have lost two limbs. Man, this Nami would have been very different. But I mean, honestly, it would be interesting if Nami had this look. Not because it looks bad. It looks pretty badass. But I mean, I would imagine that like Cyborg Nami would have been, you know, written as like, you know, top 3 character, right? You know, in strength, right? She probably would be amazing warrior lady, and obviously she would probably have a different personality. So she probably wouldn't have any of her, you know, kind of like magical wand stuff. Cyborg Nami with an axe big as her whole body. Her axe is freaking her torso right there. This Nami would have been probably like a physical melee character in like a Zoro style, you know. I mean, honestly, she would be a very different character. Just how she looks here, nothing of her current powers would make any sense, right? She still could have the same backstory, right? Of Arlong and Bellamere and all you go. But after that, her fighting side would have been so kind of like, yeah, Axe Hand Morgan warrior lady. So she would have been a very different character. At least from like a fighting standpoint, right? You know, her like combats would be very different. So I think it'd be interesting if it would have had down this thing, because I always felt that the lack, I mean, one minus of One Piece for me has always been the lack of muscular waifus, you know, like fighting waifus, right? He's really bad at the making ladies that can fight, right? So, yeah, she's kind of like a Yamato. Yeah, exactly. I think she would be some kind of a Yamato, right? Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, something like that, right? Because he's made Nami, like I say, very typical supportive. She's basically a typical healing member in a party, right? She stands in the background, throws some spells at you, and it does something, right? If she had this look, Nami would have had to be written as like a Yamato figure, running in the front and smacking in the melee range, right? If she had the same behavior, and also, I mean, she probably would have a different personality to some extent, right? Like being a much more aggressive or whatever, because it would be strange if she had the same kind of cowardly traits, but also being like a muscle mecha warrior. But it would be an interesting take on it if she was that. But I said it before, I'll say it again, right? One Piece is terrible, no, but I think that is an issue of One Piece. Oda has never really been good at making muscular waifus, and that's one of the reasons, right, why you know, Macadamia is better to some extent, right, than One Piece. I think to a large extent, but I mean, compared to Macadamia, right? In Macadamia we have Ushigori. No, but I mean, Macadamia, Hiro, he's not afraid of like having Miracle be muscular, you know, like a big abs and so on. He's not afraid of having stripes with, you know, big biceps, right? But Oda, not even Yamato has big biceps, right? Oda is just like, not even like Kaito's daughter that's like a super flex lady. Not even she can have any muscles, right? The only woman that has muscles is Miss Monday, yeah. Oda has made like 1,000 female character, and it's like one of them that have muscles, like have defined muscle mass, you know. The rest of them are just, you know, usually attractive, but they don't have any muscles. Nah, Bonnie is too young to join, right? No, I think Yamato will still join. She was in the later chapter. Yamato's in it. She's in the first page. Yamato is in one of those you know, journeys. So I think he's gonna start now, like with Buggy. You're gonna see Yamato traveling, you know, in like 1 page per week. It's gonna be Yamato doing something, and then she's gonna end up with the Destroyers eventually. But the thing is that Oda's second biggest mistake he's ever made, obviously, is Yamato not joining after the Gorosei. It makes no sense whatsoever. And I think he has to know that, right? Oda can't be that full of stuff. He has to know that. Like, it made no sense having Yamato just being like this incredible centric character, wanted to leave on and so on. And it made no sense. I lost so much. I mean, I genuinely lost respect for him as a person. No, but I mean, it made no sense, right? It made no sense. It was just like, not all, and people, oh, you're a Yamato fan or whatever. No, it's not about being a Yamato fan, you know? It's about like, and I say that sitting with a Yamato shirt on me. I know. I'm not a Yamato fan, guys. Where are you getting that from? I'm not a Yamato fan. Okay? I'm not biased. I'm not biased on his Yamato. No, I'm sitting here in my Yamato shirt being like, I'm not biased, guys, okay? I'm not biased. But seriously, yeah, like One Piece, I died to some extent with One Piece there, but it really was because, regardless, if you're a Yamato fan or not, right, it just made no sense from a writing standpoint. And I've seen people that I know hate Yamato and hate me or whatever because they defend Yamato. Even some of them said that, you know, okay, they agree. They're like, you know what, I wanted to join now rather than not join because it's just bad writing now. Like, it just didn't make it. Spending so much time on her and then being like, nah, yeah, it's just terrible. And also her motivation was just so bad. So, no, I think it truly, I think it honestly, Yamato not joining is probably his biggest writing mistake from a story aspect he's ever done. And I say that even though I obviously hate the Gorosei plot hole even more from anything. So, but the Yamato's made no sense. It's so stupid. You spend so much time on her, and then eventually she's like, nah, you know. It's just so bad, and he didn't even show her. It was so bad because it didn't even like build it up either. There was nothing. You weren't showing her. Think about it. And then he kind of made it later afterwards. He kind of retconned it afterwards. So it was so bad. And I mean, I think an issue with One Piece, been for a long time, of course, is that Oda has too much power, right? That sounds like a weird thing, but it is. Because eventually, you have to have someone telling you no, it's a bad idea, right? You know, you have to have someone. Let's see how much you have to have like a no man, right? And everyone knows that One Piece has an issue where Oda has too much power over editors, right? His editors on Jump or whatever, they do nothing, right? Because they're afraid of, you know, turning him down, you know, always, right? So he gets a free pass on everything. And it's kind of like, I mean, I can't believe the editors would say yes to that. The editors would have been like, oh my god, we have to put Yamato in there. She said like a hotcake. Only from a monetary standpoint, the editors of Jump should have been like, no, Oda, Yamato stays. Think about all the figures. Think about all the money, right? It's from that standpoint, they should have been like, no, Oda, Yamato in now, you know. So they are so afraid of ever saying no to him. I think that's probably the biggest issue One Piece actually has from a general standpoint. That the author is too popular for his own good, right? So no one ever tells him that, yeah, you can't do this thing. He's dumb for the storyline. Oh yeah, oh my god, you're gonna be started. I will turn off the stream soon, but don't get me started on Carrot, okay? Don't get me started on Carrot, man. This is not a One Piece stream. It's not a One Piece stream. But yes, obviously, Carrot getting turned into Queen was almost as dumb as Carrot. Yeah, oh my god. No! Hold me, Aqua-chan, hold me. Yes, Carrot becoming Queen was basically as dumb, yeah. Everything with Wano, and don't remember the Hiyoro speech? The Hiyoro is like, oh, let's burn them all! Yeah, like, no, everything with Wano is the worst ending ever. Yeah. Wano by far is the worst ending in One Piece. Yamato joining made no sense, terrible writing. Nikos Proto, terrible writing. Kara becoming Queen, dumbest thing ever. Jesus, it made no sense. She's not even the strongest of the. It made no sense. And then lastly, Hiyoro being like, yeah, burn! It's just like, no, it was so terrible. Everything was terrible in the Wano ending. It has like, it's like 0 out of 10 ending. And I mean, if Eggland was so good with all the crazy Vegapunk stuff and so on. I mean, I hate Vegapunk, but you know, everything around him is fun. And the Kuma backstory and bonding and so on. I mean, the comedy is better and so on at Egghead. If that wasn't true, then I might even drop One Piece for a while, because Egghead is so much better than Wano. The comedy is better, the pacing is better, the writing is better. It's not perfect, but it's better. Like, Egghead is like seriously better in every regard, except Yamato. But that's like the only thing is missing, right? But everything else is better in Egghead, like in every possible way. Yeah, exactly. Like saying it's Sword Torio. Like, you know, sometimes the author has bad ideas, right? And usually you have to be like, no, I can do it, right? I mean, I have been there myself, right? Working in many games, and sometimes you talk to some writer or or the designer, be like, no, it's a dumb idea. Yeah, like they're not gonna do it, right? Most people need to have someone being like, no, no, except me then, because I write perfectly, but kind of like when I wrote for one game, right? Now they did censor me tomorrow video, they censor me and removed my writing anyway, but the middle ground, honestly, probably better. So I wrote for one game, right? And I wrote that the main character got order and so on. And then, the CEO was like, no. I'm like, yes. And the truth is probably somewhere in the middle there, where my writing is probably too dark, and he was probably too much censoring, right? And the better novel would probably be somewhere in the middle, where it's like my story stays, but maybe less graphical or something like that, You need some guys to be like, nah, it's a good idea, but maybe do it like this. Something like that. Because you have something to get at least in your head, right? And you push through the hard. But I think One Piece certainly has the issue for many years now. I think it's very clear where you can just feel like there's no way this would have passed in One Piece in the beginning. There's no way One Piece at the first, like say, even 10 years, but the first like 5 years, this wouldn't have passed at all. They'd be like, no, you can't add like for example, remember how Oda kind of threw in the supernovas, all of them. And he said himself, I wrote it like a day or something, And yeah, and so like you can't give everyone a flashback right now, Oda. It's like, fine, like that, right? But imagine if you did that, for Chapter 1. They would have been like, no, you can't do it. It's very clear. It's very clear that now he's just so big that they just ignore him. Yeah, but there's something like that. Sometimes you have to kind of get a feel for it and stop yourself for someone. But honestly, man, you trigger me, bro. You're triggering me with the carrot stuff, because the carrot stuff might even be dumber. Yeah, the carrot stuff might even be dumber. And I had all this beef, right, with some of these carrot fans, especially on Reddit. Even though I was, pro carrot joining the Straw Hats in the beginning of Hawk Island, right, so on. So the reason I was against Carrot joining later, right, of course, was Oda's bad writing, because I was pro Carrot joining for the first 3-4 years, right? But then Oda just removed her from the storyline. This bites me now, yeah. Oda removed her from the storyline completely, and just pushed her out of the storyline for whole of Wano. And then people are like, oh, we have to have Carrot. I was like, no, Carrot can't join now. But I mean, he ruined Carrot. I mean, honestly, he probably ruined Carrot more than he ruined Yamato, because having Carrot be clearly a Straw Hat member material at being moms, right, Hawk Island arc, clearly Carrot is supposed to be the new member of that arc, and then when Van started, it was like, oh, I forgot about it. It's like, whatever. It was like he changed his mind, and then it was like over 100 chapter, she didn't appear for one page, right? She was completely gone. And then suddenly she's back at the raid, fighting Perospero, having to see with Jinbei, hugging Jinbei and Nami, and it just felt incredibly weird. It was like he basically ignored her for like 3 years, and suddenly she's back again, fully in the fight, and then he ignored her again afterwards, immediately. And you were like, wow, yeah, so it just made no sense. I was pro Carrot until Van started, right? And then for every Van of it, I was against Carrot, because it just started being weirder. And then at the end, it felt really forced. How she's had this like hugging scene with Nam there, like how are they even friends anymore? She's been gone for like 4 years of our time, right? It felt weird, right? Of course, it's not that weak for them, but for our time, it was like really strange. And then I think when at the very end, she suddenly becomes queen. It felt like you would have no idea what he was doing with Carrot whatsoever. So Carrot is probably the worst written female character in One Piece by far, probably. And making her queen, I say it again, right? It makes no sense because she's only queen because she's a famous character for the reader, right? Not for the actual person in the One Piece world. Because she didn't beat Perospero, and Wanda is stronger than Carrot, right? So she's not the strongest leader or the Minx or whatever, and she didn't accomplish her goal. She didn't overcome Perospero. So like, why would she become queen for? It's only because she, for us, the readers, a known character. She's young, she's inexperienced, she's kind of stupid, right? Making her queen is just really, really stupid. So yeah, Carrot is probably the worst written female character in One Piece. Probably by long shot, actually. Jesus Christ. Yeah. It's so weird. And I remember, as you mentioned there, I remember I made a video about it a few years ago. And everyone was like fighting with Carrot, and Carrot was a Yamamoto team and so on, right? And I made this matrix, this 4-element matrix, and I was like, well, you have 4 different outcomes here, right? You have no one joining, only Carrot, only Yamamoto, or both joining, right? And my argument was that I think that both joining is more likely than only Carrot joining. My argument was like, only Yamamoto joining is the highest now at the end here, given what happened during Wano. And then I was like, both joining, then no one joining. That was what I argued for, yeah. Because I was like, yeah, both joining seems quite likely as well. That even if Oda like forgot about her during Wano, she clearly was supposed to be a member for a long time, so it was like very strange. But I have no idea what he was thinking with Carrot. He clearly changed his mind somewhere, right? Like he gave her this Kulon Sulong form, and she was like hugging with Nami in the bathtub and all the stuff, and she was like a furry fan service. And she was so much time spent on her, and then suddenly she was completely omitted to the storyline for like literally I think over 3 years. She had like 1 chapter thing in 3 years. 2 years, no chapters, 1 chapter in 1 year, did nothing, only in the back of Wanda. And then after 3 years, she suddenly is at the raid, right? And being an important character again. And especially in the anime or the fan service, her and Nami, Nick and Robin, the bikinis there. It's just so whiplash, right? Think about it. But in the anime, because the anime spent even more time on her, right? In her like string bikini or whatever. Yeah, the anime spent so much time on showing her tata and so on. Yeah, it was even worse in the anime because they, of course, padded it out even more, right? So it just made no sense whatsoever. Yeah, yeah, she's kind of like launch. She's like a launch. I forgot about it existed. It does feel like Oda literally forgot her. Yeah, like launch, like Akira with launch in Dragon Ball. It feels like he literally forgot about her. Like he was like, what was this furry character? Yeah, did I make that? Hey guys, is that furry character in anime? But her becoming queen is some kind of stupid. Like he's like, oh, I'm sorry, Kara fan, I forgot about her. She can become queen instead, and it's like, why? Like, why? Like, you know, like it didn't make any sense. I mean, like I said earlier, Wanda would have made a better queen than Carrot. She's stronger than Carrot. She's older than Carrot. She's more calm and she's smarter than Carrot. Like she has everything in her advantage of being a queen over Carrot. I mean, literally, I don't think Carrot has any advantage of being queen over Wanda, because Wanda is seemingly better than her in every stat. You know. Like, purely from a fight standpoint, she's literally at least as fast and stronger than Carrot. Probably a lot stronger how it's played, right? Like, physically stronger and so on. And then again, even more importantly, she's calmer. She's more mature, right? She's more, you know, more seasoned veteran lady. It's like, she's obviously be the queen over Carrot. And she's also very popular and trusted by the people. If anything, it doesn't make any sense that the Minks would like Carrot. Carrot betrayed them, arguably, by leaving them and following Luffy, guys, right? So why would they even trust her more than Wanda that stayed behind and protecting them? You know what I mean? Wanda would probably have the people's trust more than Carrot. Why would you trust Carrot for? She's like a stupid girl that runs away from her possibilities. You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense. And they're like, well, Carrot, you're like the main character. You become queen. Yeah. That's true. Akira actually did admit he forgot her. That is true. Akira actually is like, but that's fun with Akira. My god, I miss Akira Toriyama. He not only was he the father of shonen anime, the grandpa of anime basically, but like Akira was a fun guy too, because Oda, he's very famous. Obviously, Oda's very popular in One Piece, but Oda hasn't done interviews in years. You know, he does like 1 per year, right? And he's been very. Obviously, I get why he's so famous. So he has to hide and doesn't want people to show his face on. But most authors are kind of like Oda, I feel. They kind of have this anonymous vibe to them. But Akira Toriyama, he was a hoot man. Akira was all fun. He's like, haha, I forgot about her. Sorry about her. Yeah, he was very, very honest. Like my favorite interview with him is that he said that in one volume, it's Cell, he had a lot of complaints from people that it was too, you know, rigid and too hard on the lines. He was like, they told me that it was too hard on the lines and too sharp and so on. So I made it more sharp. Screw them. I was like, that's his, he's like a troll man. I love Akira, man. He felt like he was the funny dude, you know. Like if you play Chrono Trigger, he has messed with his daughter and son and so on in the game and so on. Yeah, but seriously, Akira felt like he was amazing with Dragon Ball. But he also was like more down to earth, I feel, than some of the other authors. He was joking, did a lot of interviews, and he enjoyed it more, right? To be famous, and everyone kind of loved him, yeah. But he was like a funny guy. and he would like troll people and mail him and so on. But he was hilarious, man, living it. Where I feel most of the other artists are kind of like just hiding in a corner somewhere. Honestly, except of course Tito Kubo, he's badass too. Yeah, Bleach Arthur, he's like dudes. Yeah, he's like coming in with the shades like I want a big butt. He's badass too though. Kubo is fun too. He got complaints. He's just like, oh, you're complaining about my Yorichi. Do you see it here? I've given bigger oppas. He's just like, oh yeah. He's like, oh, you're complaining about the fan service? I need more fan service this week. Yeah, don't tell me what to do. He's funny too, though. He's funny too. Akira is more like a lovable dad, right? And Kubo is like Kubo is like your. He's like this brat teenager. He's like a 45-year-old brat teenager that is always in your face, yeah, exactly. But Akira is like this lovable uncle. It's like, oh, you want that? You will never have it. Basically, yeah. So they're kind of fun, But most mangaka are basically like, hiding somewhere. No one knows who they look or anything. I guess it's an advantage though of being a celebrity, author celebrity, because people don't recognize you by seeing you because no one knows how you look, right? Because basically any other celebrity, you're basically like, no matter what you do, singer or whatever, right? TV host, whatever, yeah. People recognize you how you look, right? Even if you don't necessarily are a looker, so to speak. The same thing with rich people, right? That are really rich, people that are incredibly rich. Same thing there, right? With some of the wealthy people. They have like all their money and no one knows how they look. Yeah, it's like, oh, this guy owns this company and he look like a random person. Yeah, I mean, Vegeta is of course the best. Everyone knows Vegeta is the best character, man. But yeah, I can't stay too long as I'm hungry. But you should definitely check out Sandland next week, I guess. But I still enjoyed, Sandland episode 1 and the opening is great episode 1. The opening feels very Dragon Ball. The reason I enjoyed Sandland, I said the more in my review, check it out if interested. But the reason I enjoyed it very briefly here is mostly because it feels a lot like Dragon Ball OG, right? It feels a lot like the Dragon Ball in Goku's a kid, right? And that's my favorite Dragon Ball. It's more Dragon Ball, comedic Dragon Ball. It's more slapstick comedy. It's not so much fighting. It's more like, dumb jokes that Akira would write. And it feels very drag Quest of the monsters and so on. So it's more like the typical, old school Akira Toriyama joke style, right? It's Sandland. So I think it can be pretty exciting, actually, when we get after the movie and the volume and so on. But it's very unheard of. My video is like dead in the water. Like, Jesus Christ, man. It's very affordable with YouTube, yeah. My video I made this morning, like 10 hours ago, it has like 10 views. It's like, it has like 1-2 likes. I looked at the data. It doesn't even have bad ratio, so if you look at YouTube data, you can see how much people click your video, right, And it has a high percentage people actually want to see it. The thing is that no one actually want to see it. So what I mean is that the few people, right, that care about Sandland, they might actually have a high chance of clicking on my video and watch the video. Because, I saw that video. But of course, there is so few people that actually want to watch Sandland videos. So I don't know how it's going to go, but it seems to be... It's like Akira Toriyama's like forgotten manga or something. Yeah, like it has like no fans. I checked the Reddit post, or Reddit forum, it only had like 2,000 subscribers to it. And, the main Dragon Ball is like over 1 million right there. So Sandland is like a Toriyama's lost child that no one knows about. It's kind of funny, but I don't know, maybe as a... but yeah, that's a good point. I don't think people even knew it's coming out. Yeah, it's a good point. I blame Disney Plus for it, some percent, right? It's Disney Plus, and they haven't made any commercial about it. I barely seen it as well too. Same thing like Summertime Render that we had a few 2 years ago. Same thing there, Summertime Render. They barely like talked about it. Disney was like, "Well, we have it here, whatever. Who cares?" It's an issue, definitely. And that's an issue I think we see all the time with Netflix and Disney Plus. They buy these binge animes and they just put them up there on their servers and they don't talk to anyone. Netflix has the same thing too, right? They buy the full anime, push it up there, and they don't mention it to anyone. So it's very strange. I'm guessing the Sandland, of course, was supposed to be released before the game will come out, though. The game is coming out in 1 or 2 months from now. So obviously the anime is coming out now before the game, so it's like an ad right for the game as well. yeah, it's strange. But I'm not surprised that, affordably, I'm not surprised that no one has seen my video, because I'm like, no one even knows it's out, right? Yeah, the anime is out. That's true. But yeah, there's a lot of that old manga, right? No one knows about. Hopefully, a resurgence of that, of the old stuff. But anyway, it was fun. We're coming the best week is finally coming, right? The season. It's like 3 or 4 more weeks now until we have Konosuba and so on. I think that we can say here briefly before I turn off the stream, guys. Let's see, what is the first anime to come out of the good animes? Let's see there lastly, right? You can go up here using live short. Great page, honestly. You can go up here and you can sort somewhere. I just wanna see like who's coming first. Here it is. Of course, popularity. Bam. What is coming first? Well, Loom and so on. Yeah. What is first of the good stuff? Of the new animes. There's a bit left for the good stuff. Yeah, they had all the stuff coming for them. My God. Yeah, there's like 10 anime. My God. It's like, what is it? Finally, Slime. Okay, 2.5 weeks. So yeah, my God. It's like 10 plus animes. It's like over 10 animes, 15 animes before the stuff. My God. Well, terrible, man. Terrible. Gotta wait for the good stuff. Konosuba, I know is quite late. It's like 10th or 11th April. So Konosuba is way down here, bro. Konosuba is the last one. My God, look at this. Konosuba is like almost literally the last one. Jesus Christ. Konosuba is coming out here. Yeah, it's like, it is like place 40 of 5th something. That is like, it doesn't matter too much, but yeah, it's coming out way later than anything else. My God, I almost feel sorry. Like, they haven't Konosuba, but seriously, it is coming out like after all the other animes. Like almost every anime is gonna air before Konosuba. There's only a few anime left. Kaju 8 is one, yeah, like 2-3 anime left. Jesus Christ. Yeah, you're gonna still have to. But anyway, what about the video? And yeah, check out the FF7 stuff. I mean, honestly, you have to beat the game first. But for anyone that's beaten FF7, check out my video yesterday. So I beat the game, right? And I feel I have a pretty good theory what happens. I think I explained it pretty well. And I think I explained it physically pretty well, mathematically, what happens in Eric. So I think it's honestly probably my best videos. Yeah, Macadamia is a month delayed though. Macadamia I know is a month delayed, yeah. Macadamia airs literally the last, I think, there. Because Macadamia airs 40 days after the other ones for some reason. Oh yeah, Demon Slayer as well. Okay, yeah, those two. Demon Slayer also airs like, okay, Demon Slayer and Macadamia are delayed by months, okay. But you can check out Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer episode 1 is out though. So, but that's true. Demon Slayer and Macadamia are the last one to appear. And Pokemon is there too, though. I actually have the Pokemon, though. Huh. Pokemon is just like streaming, so I don't know. Pokemon is there, but I don't know what that does appear like that. But yeah, Demon Slayer is the last one, and Macadamia is second to last one. So, but those two both have this weird delay thing, and they're gonna add them like way later for some reason. And it wouldn't surprise me if Demon Slayer has fewer episodes too, right? Demon Slayer Fortnite has this major issue where it's gonna air like a month later, and it's gonna have 8 episodes, right? Instead of 12. That's something with Demon Slayer is annoying. They're gonna probably have few episodes. I'm thinking about it. That's a Fortnite, man. But anyway, guys, with the video, please subscribe, slap button, right? No, stop. We're gonna fail any animes, but actually, as a side note, maybe it'd be good if she failed animes. No, but I think that we see it every season, right? There are more and more animes coming out. It's like, and honestly, it's probably not better for the industry. You said the game industry is probably better if you had fewer games coming out that are better, instead of having like 60 animes coming out. I'd rather have 6 animes. You know what I mean? Smug Frid means okay though. Yeah, Frid is ending soon, man. It's gonna hurt, man. I'm gonna miss Friden. She was the best mom in anime. Like, yeah, Friden has become one of the best mommies ever in anime. She's not Mother Healing, I guess. Mother Healing, I think, is number 1, perhaps. Mother Healing is probably the best mom in anime history. I'm gonna make another mother that's a good mom top 10. Yeah, I make a top 10 anime mom video, but I'm gonna make another one where it's like literally like no actually good mom top 10. Not just Kobayashi is a good mom too. That's true. Kobayashi 3, yeah. She's a very good mom to Kana. Just a good mommy. Or actually, I mean, Kobayashi's dad though, yeah. But the Kana calls Kobayashi her dad though. So that's actually one of my favorite lines in Kobayashi, right? When Kana and Kobayashi hang out, and she's like, "Can I call you my parents?" Like, "Of course, Kana-san. Okay, Dad." Like, "Dad, but I'm your mom." It's like, "No, I'm a woman, Kana. You call me mommy." "Nah, you're my dad." And then she's like, "But wait, what is Tor then? Tor is my mom." It's like, okay, so Tor is the mom, but I am dad. You're definitely dad. Like, okay, I'm dad. like that's. But come on, no, Kobayashi is a good dad. Come on, Kobayashi is the dad, and Tor is the mom. Just like Kana says. It is a great scene, man. She's like, "No, you my mom, you my dad." Come on, she explains it perfectly. She's like, no. Like, "No, you're definitely the dad in But Kana basically is like, "You're definitely the dad in their relationship, yeah. In you and Toru's love story, you're definitely the man." No, but come on, she basically is like, you know, who is the boss in the house, you know? Yeah, she's like, "No, you're the dad in your relationship." Toru is obviously kind of like the bottom, you know. I mean, they obviously have a Yuri romance, right? But it's pretty clear who's the top, who's the bottom in their Yuri storyline. So obviously, Kobayashi is the top, right? So Kana is correct. Kana is like, no, you're the dad in this storyline. I love that. But yeah, Kobayashi gets, of course, annoyed at her, trying to keep like, "Call me mom." "Nah, dad's like, call me mom." It's like, it's adorable. Kana is one of the best daughters. I should make a top 10 daughter too. Yeah, make a top 10 daughter video. But yeah, I mean, obviously the Futa thing is in the fan works, right? But yeah, Ilulu makes her into a man. Actually, Ilulu makes her literally into a man, right? In second season, Ilulu will, gender balance her for like 2 episodes. So it is a canon that Kobayashi is a man, right? And obviously, you know, if you Google that stuff, you're gonna find Kobayashi. Usually Kobayashi is the one on top of Toru, right? Yeah, usually. Kind of how it goes, right? Certainly. But she's the man of the household, come on. I love that. But anyway, what's tomorrow? One more One Piece? Usually that's One Piece, man. One Piece right now, pretty good, right? Pretty good right now with Luffy. Yeah, something's happening for once. And Loom, I guess, to watch tomorrow. And then on Friday, I still don't know. Today I'm gonna look at the reviews. But I think the both Rise of Ronin and Dogma 2, right, is gonna have like 9 or 10. Yeah, I think they're both gonna have like a 90% plus thing. It's gonna be so hard to pick between them. It's gonna be, yeah, I guess so. I guess technically, I'm gonna ask the author. Technically, what did Kobayashi count as? Can you give me a drawing of the anonymous? Can you give me like a painting here of exactly how it works? Yeah. No, but I'm in this first problem, right? I haven't still decided what game to buy. It's super hard. It's be interesting. But honestly, I'm happy that I beat FF7 Rebirth before it. Because I would definitely don't want to beat... I mean, I hate not beating games, right? I buy a lot of games, but I beat them all, more or less. And the biggest issue is if you buy like a really good game, then another really good game comes too soon after. That's the only time it gets troublesome, right? So I'm happy that I actually beat the game, and now I have some side stuff left, but that I can do kind of some other stuff. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know. Cool is like that's how it started, right? I suppose every order starts like that. Every order starts like that. I'm gonna read God Only Knows Peace, right? I want to see the anime, and I guess it never had it's probably never getting a second season, right? Idaten, God Only Knows Peace. From Cool and It's reviewer author as well. Gotta watch that, guys. But anyway, a good ending here now then. 2-hour mark there for the stream. But I will stream on Friday too then. I won't stream tomorrow. Oh yeah, lastly, Jesus Christ. Before I forget, you know, I should really make a review of this game, you know. And I think you would love it, right? You will love Space Pirate Lord. You will love this game, right? Unicorn Overlord. I haven't made a video about it since I opened the box, right? This game is really good, but I haven't beaten it either. I only played it for like 20 hours with FS7, but it's a really good game. It's like it's a very very good strategy game. It's addictive, and the world map is so large, man. It's so large. It's like crazy. Like how many times I made that video? But yeah. No, but it's very similar to Ogre Battle, First and foremost, right? But I haven't played enough, I feel, to review it. I would say it's so far so good. One thing though that I will say that I like and dislike is that you can basically recruit like almost every character. It's like so many characters you can pick up. It's like 70 characters you can pick up. So it's very similar to Fire Emblem, but it's more Ogre Battle. But it's like all the characters like shaking their booty and so on. Yeah, the Witch Slayer is like there, so it's very up ice and so on, but it's very curvy. But the thing is that you can pick up like almost every boss in the game, like straight up. They almost always join you, so you get so many characters. So one thing is that I don't see much purpose of the whole hiring people. So you can hire, like a warrior, right, like a normal warrior. But I haven't done that yet. I hired like a few characters, like 2-3 in the beginning, like the basic, like a soldier or whatever, right? But after playing it for like 2-3 hours more, you never hire people because you pick up like 2-3 characters per stage. So, and you can only have a certain number of characters in the army anyway. So eventually you got like 50 plus characters. You're like, yeah, there's no space for those characters. But the thing is that I don't like one thing though with it. That is that so far, and I Google this to shit of it, but I Google like what happens if I react them, Like you can basically take a new character, like you beat the boss, and after you beat the boss in the game, you can hire the boss to join you, or you can just kill her, right? So I was like, what happens if I just kill this waifu? Like, what happens then? What is the reward for killing them? What happens with the storyline? And apparently what happens, that the storyline has no difference. The only thing is that you get rewards for not picking them up. So basically, almost every boss, you can hire them in the beginning of the game. But if you don't hire them, you get like, gold and some item and whatnot, right? But it's obviously much more valuable to hire them. So it feels like really weird. Basically, it's like the game gives you an option to more or less save or don't save most bosses, right? But I don't see any reason why you wouldn't just save them. So that's a little bit weird because it doesn't seem to change the storyline apparently, how you do it. Certainly, like in Fire Emblem, you can have stage talk between characters. So you certainly need to pick up some characters in the beginning. Like you pick up this character, his sister's a boss later, so you need him to get sister. But it's a little bit weird because I don't see why you wouldn't just pick up every character at all. I mean, it's a great game, but it just bugs me a little bit because the game is presented as, like a choices, should we go dark or light path thing, but it's basically like a zero value going to the dark side, Being a good guy is just 10 times better, so it's a little bit like, why would I ever be a bad guy if I get so terrible reward for it? That bugs me a little bit. And also lastly, the same thing is that sometimes you pick up new characters, and the characters clearly have, they know some of your party members, but you will still usually be the main character doing the talking. So yesterday, I picked up this like waifu, like it's really hot, like general lady. It's like evil dark generally. Her brother is a party member much earlier. So when you pick up this lady, right, you can make her join your party. You have to convince her with the main character to join your party. That to me made no sense because I have her brother. If she be missing for like a brother, right? It would much more if the brother talk to her, convinces her to join you, and then she joins you. What happens is that you convince her with the main character, she joins you, you beat the stage, and afterwards there's a cutscene between her and her brother. So they still have that scene anyway, but I think it would make much more sense if the brother talked to her first instead. And that's basically in all part of the game. It's always the main character kind of engaging into the talk to convince them to join you. That to me, if it's kind of lazy, it should have been like per character instead. Stop with those Stockholm syndrome, man. But anyway, see what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. I like Unicorn Overlord, but it has that issue. That bugs me. It doesn't ruin the game, but it does. It's something that bugs me in the game. One thing I like with the game, though, the positive, is that you can like script the characters as well, right? So they're not just standing by like an ogre battle by either back or forward lane. You can basically write code for every character. so they will act depending on how you work and so on. And otherwise, yeah, it's very, very Fire Emblem-y. Like, oh, this enemy has a lot of like axe dudes. Then you get the thieves, because they're like immune to like slow moving guys. And oh, there's a lot of thieves on this stage. Then you get the archer, or later on the sword warrior, sword fighter, what they call, because they're like countering thieves and so on. So it's a lot like rock paper scissors. But instead of having rock paper scissors, you have like rock paper maggot. You have like 10 different things, but it's very similar to Fire Emblem in that sense. That if I have to attack into this boss, I need to have a user with a sword. I can't go in with like an axe or whatever. Then I will die immediately. I need to have like a sword user, but I also need to have the correct sword user. So if the boss is like an axe boss, like a slow axe dude, I need to have either a sword master or a thief with a sword. I guess the big axe dude, right? But if it's like an axe tank lady, then I need to have like a magician. So it's a very much like, yeah, you always need to have that, man. You always need to have hot sandwich. But anyway, so yeah, I'm thinking about what I do for Unicorn Overlord. It's in my head, right?